Today on the channel, something that'll pique a lot of wrestling figures' interest here is today we got the brand new referee figure from FTC and WrestlingSuperstore.com.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another wrestling figure unboxing and review. And today we've got something special and we've got something very interesting today, as we have a referee figure from WrestlingSuperstore.com. But for all your other wrestling figure needs, be it WWE, Mattel, AEW, Jazzwares, and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. And hopefully today this will help fix some of the mystery of the wrestling figure community, as we've all been collecting wrestling figures for a long time. I guess some longer than others. But one thing we historically have not got on a consistent basis is the referee figure. Very important, as we do know, to our wrestling figure, especially the old playing days, but we never got wrestling referees. Now, recently, AEW Jazzwares gave us an Aubrey Edwards figure, part of a Ringside Collectibles exclusive ring. We've got a few in the past. Most wrestling referee figures, though, are wrestlers like Shawn Michaels or Sid Justice in referee shirts. That's really the extent of referee figures. Now, we've had a few over the years. We've had Lou Filippo from Rocky. We've had the old Bone Cruncher referee. We've had a few others. The old LJNs going all the way back then, but not on a consistent basis. So it's been a hole that's always been a question. And the Aubrey Edwards was the most recent one, as we talked about. That plugged a lot of holes in people's AEW collections. But a lot of people want just a normal male referee, and that's where Wrestling Superstore, I guess, comes into the picture here, as this just went up for pre-order. It was just announced up for, not even pre-order, it was just announced and up for order last week. I saw it, ordered it 2 days later, through my mailbox. So I'm very excited to see what we're going on here. I haven't seen anything on this, haven't seen any pictures outside of the box pictures on this. Very interested to see what this is all going to be about. And of course, later on in this video, we're going to compare this for scaling issues to some other toy lines, so other wrestling figure lines, so we can kind of see where this works and where this does not work. So stay tuned for that here later in this video. And of course, we're going to do this video like we do all the others on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's take a look at the front first. How about? But there it is. It's the referee. Look at this. Very, very small box on this one. I was a little surprised. Came in a little bubble mailer. Just a referee figure. It says the Ultimate Referee, Deluxe Articulation, Figures Toy Company, WrestlingSuperstore.com. But there it is. A very generic, very plain Jane referee, which does work. And this is something a lot of people have wanted from Mattel. Hey, give us Steve Ozier. Give us Bill McKenna's head on a referee. Who cares? We just want a generic referee. We have not got that from Mattel so far, but we're getting a very generic looking one here today. On the side, we're just promoting. Also available from Wrestling Superstore. A few different kits there if you want some of that stuff. And then on the back, we got, it's just, I don't know why this makes me laugh a little bit. These different positions the referee's in. Showing, the plausibility and the movement of the deluxe articulation on this referee. And on the back, it says, over 20 points of articulation, compatible with most wrestling figures. So obviously not compatible probably with Hasbro's, not compatible with LJNs, maybe not Jakks, but possibly Mattel, possibly AEW. Well, we're going to find out. I'm very anxious to see what is in this pack. When we open it up, what are we going to see in here? What is going to be doing? And we open him up. That's it. We're off to the races. See you later. Goodbye. And we get a little bubble wrap prison right here. So we're going to untake him out of this. All right. Off to the races. We're getting there. Bam. See you later. So not a lot of packaging here, but I think this works for most people. This works. Now we're going to see what we got going on here. And I tell you what, I don't know. Now, we all know about FTC. They make a very an interesting line of wrestling figures, let's be honest. A hybrid of Jakks Ruthless Aggression and Deluxe Aggression. That's what they're known for. This is something totally different. This almost feels and looks like AEW style articulation, AEW style figure. I would say similar but different, close enough to be dangerous, maybe. It does have a little... This is good. I mean, this is much better than I was anticipating from FTC. Not throwing FTC under the bus, but I have a feeling just on the limited time I've held this, I can feel people possibly needing or wanting this in their collection. But let's break this guy down first. Let's break down the articulation on this guy before we start describing some stuff. But first thing I notice here, butterfly shoulders. So you got the butterfly in the arm, gives you extra reach. You're going way back for that 3 count. We got extra reach there, so I do like that. I think that is a really nice touch here. Arms all the way around, very smooth, very solid arms moving around. Bicep cut even on this one. Bicep cut right under the shirt. Double jointed pinless elbows. How about that? Very, very tight elbows, though. I will say that for sure. Hands back and forth, side to side. And then you do get the old 2 count. He's throwing up the old 2. So I do like that as well. We do get the hula hoop at the waist, so you get a little extra articulation there. Head side to side, back and forth. Head not easily removable. I'm not going to tempt fate with that, but very good. Waist, a little bit looseness in the waist, but not bad at all, but we get the waist back and forth. He can do big old referee splits if he needs to. No thigh cut, doesn't bother me at all. We've got double jointed knees, once again, very tight, just like the elbows. We do get the double jointed knees, and then you get the ankle articulation, up and down, side to side, back and forth. A smaller figure feels small, but we all know historically, referees, what are they? They're not Elegante. They're not Giant Gonzalez. They're littler wrestlers, littler male and female counterparts, of course. So this really will possibly work, and I can't wait. We're going to do it here in a second. We're going to compare these guys for some height differences and stuff. But the articulation is really all you could ask for with a referee figure, I think. You get the 2 count hands there, and then, of course, you get the open hands to count the mat. That is a must-have. I'm all for fists on my figures. This wrestling referee, he does not need fists, so I'm fine with these. Now, could you have gave us extra hands? Yes, they could have. Maybe down the road that'll be something. It would be great to have some different hands, but I'm not going to, tempt fate. I'm not going to ask for that. I think this is a fabulous, fabulous start. Of course, this is referee attire or Foot Locker. You're looking for a Foot Locker employee. Hey, this could work for that as well, but black pants, black shoes. We got the zebra striped referee shirt. Looks like a referee all day. You hand this to anybody, they're going to say, hey, there's a referee. This works for me. He does got a stamping on his foot on the bottom, FTC 2023. Well, we're in 2022, or Kyle just went into the future for this video. I'm not exactly sure, but we do have that. Unfortunately, no peg hold, no stand here for him, so you're not going to be able to put him on a stand of any kind. The face on here, he's got the haircut. You can set his watch to, a nice part there on the side, nice brown hair, just a plain Jane face. You don't need a referee that's super mad. You don't need one that's super happy. If you're only going to have one head sculpt, this is the way to go on a referee figure, just plain Jane. I think that works as well. Skin tone on this one, I would say a little bit glossy. Maybe the plastic maybe feels a little cheap. I mean, it almost kind of has a little bit of that dollar store vibe, just a little bit. But once again, that doesn't hurt this figure for what this is. If this is a Hulk Hogan figure and it feels that way, okay, but we all know referees got to stay out of the spotlight. They got to stay in the background, and I think this works for this, especially at, I don't know if I mentioned it, you're looking at a $20 price point for this. That's not a bad gig. That's not a bad gig for a low-run figure like this. This isn't made like an Elite or a Jazzwares figure. It's a lot lower run via FTC and Wrestling Superstar. It makes sense, but the skin tone, it's not bad. It's not terrible. It really is what it is, but man, so far, without comparing it to other things, this is worth the money. This is something a lot of us have been wanting for a long time. This is going to fit some holes in the collection. Now, the real test, though, is, hey, it looks fine on its own. How does it look when it stands next to other wrestling figures? That's what we got to figure out. And he stands on his own. A little difficult to stand. He's a little bit smaller figure. Sometimes the big figures and the small figures are hard to stand. He gets a little of that. But we got him right here. So we're going to start doing some size comparisons. And the first one, when I saw this, I really thought of AEW Jazzwares. The articulation is very similar, especially in the midsection. It felt like AEW Jazzwares. So we're going to compare it against Aubrey Edwards, of course, the referee. I don't know. Is she going to tower? Yeah, she's going to tower. So there you go. I guess that answers that. You're a good inch taller on Aubrey Edwards. And I'm not sure what her real height is in real life. I mean, I got to think she's 5'6". That's what I'm going to say. So that referee, is he 5'4", 5'5"? 6'5" with bigger shoes on. I'm not exactly sure, but you can kind of see that height difference between these two. So right off the bat here, this tells me I wish he was an inch or two taller. If he was the same size as Aubrey Edwards or maybe just a hair smaller, I would be okay with it, but he does feel a little undersized next to Aubrey Edwards here. So there we got that going on. How about we compare it to a Shawn Michaels Jack's Ruthless Aggression referee? And you can see right here, this referee figure is not going to work with your Jack's Ruthless Aggressions. Definitely not going to work with your Deluxe Aggressions. So that's out of the window here is Jack's. That's just not going to work. How about we grab an Ultimate Edition, Mattel Ultimate Edition, of course. And once again, that is not going to work. The Ultimate Edition figure is a little bit bigger. Just that size discrepancy, not going to work so well right there. Now, figure photographers, smoke and mirrors, we could talk about that too. You can position things, a little bit of lighting, a little bit turn of the camera. You can probably finagle this in to more things. But boy, you see that against the Ultimate Edition. That is, Sarge is a big dude. I mean, is he that much bigger than him? This looks like a little kid next to Sergeant Slaughter here. Now we turn our attention over to the last one, the Mattel Elite line. What is he going to look like? I did grab Rick Boogs. Now, Rick Boogs is supposed to be 6'1". I just recently unboxed this on the channel. Check that out, of course. And you can see him against Rick Boogs. Once again, I don't know. I think they made this guy just a little too short is what they did with this, unfortunately. Would have loved to seen this guy maybe an inch taller. It's close. It's close enough to be dangerous, but just not close enough. So I really do like this referee figure. I like what they tried to do. I like the idea of it. I think it's a slam dunk. I think there's a lot more figures they can make in the wrestling paraphernalia, the wrestling background that they could use, but they got to up the scale just a little bit because who is this going to work with? It's not going to work with your traditional FTC figures, and we're going to see here it doesn't really work with your Jacks, doesn't work with your Ultimates. I think the closest that this is going to work with anybody is going to be your AEW Jazzwares figures. That's going to be the closest we're going to get to. It's just a little bit of a shame there. A little bit of a shame. Yeah, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work scale-wise. I had high hopes for this. It's a good-looking figure. It's a good-looking start. Got to figure out a way to add an inch or two to this guy, and we'll be off to the races. They'll be printing money over there at FTC and Wrestling Figure Superstore. But for what it is, not a bad figure. It's just the scaling hurts it. That's where I'm going to leave it here. But very, very interesting times with this one. I was very interested to see this, and I'm glad it wasn't spoiled. I got to figure this out for myself here at this very table. But what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this FTC referee? Did you order one? Are you thinking about it? You got any ideas to make this work a little bit better? Any smoke and mirror ideas? I mean, if you have him down on the ground, maybe, I don't know, we can figure something out. But let me know your thoughts on this FTC referee figure. Don't forget to like this page while you're at it, or I should say this video while you're at it, as it does help the channel, as you guys know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, also helps. Hit the old notification bells. We got videos every single day. You don't want to miss some. Things move fast here on this channel, so if you hit that notification, you'll always be abreast of what is dropping on the channel. Don't forget about the Patreon for early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, and like I said, best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget to hit me up on social media. SirPaul64 is where you'll find me on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for the unnamed referee, I am Kyle, and I will see you guys all real soon.